Woo! Hello, everybody. Welcome, spacers and amnesiacs, to the next start. No, next start. No, that's no. Welcome to the next season of Homeward, to our second season, which will be the next couple of episodes. I don't know how many will be, but there will be some, and
At
will
least
be
three.
At least three.
Two
no.
beans.
I really hope it's more than just three. I There's way too much stuff in my head. Already I'm cutting so much out of it to not cram so much. I I just need at least 10 ish.
Right to your local admins. Renew
Yeah.
us for a second season.
Hopefully.
Well, this is the second
Um
season. We were renewed. What are you talking about?
Renew us for a third season. Sorry.
A third,
The-
second season.
Yeah, third, second season. A second season, obviously.
don't do
Secret
us like
seasoning.
Netflix does on their best shows. That
Yeah.
Netflix is like, this show is great.
Yeah.
Let's just
right.
cut it off. Just
Yeah,
cancel it right now.
Cancel it.
Just in case.
Yeah, but we're gonna be doing our normal situation where announcement and all of that will be toward the end, and at the moment we're just gonna go right into it. So, as a recap for those who are joining us for the first time, this is Homeward, a actual play Starfinder live stream here in the Red Asylum, and as a way to recap season one, our characters, heroes, members of the crew of the Dralark found themselves with no memories in the middle of some dire circumstances and eventually getting the ship out of the system that was slowly but very closely going to die and manage to escape and begin to repair some parts of the ship, figure out a bit of who they are, about the crew they are with, and eventually get some, at least the drift engine, which is the main core engine of, Survivor lore, the engine that is used to traverse across the stars. Uh, and through that process, they find out that they can see through the drift navigation the signal from where the Absalom station and the pack worlds, the place where they come from, they can see the signal, but it's not fully there. It's in a weird situation, so they can't just in an instant go back right to it. Then they have to take probably the long way there. But
Scenic
they
route.
have a generalized direction from having no direction in the endless, or having no direction in the endless void. Now they have at least a generalized direction of where they have to go. And along with that, each one of our main characters, Kasinkara, as Nulotis McPherson and Amos Mac. Is it Amos Mac or Mac Amos? It's Amos Mac, right?
Macintosh.
It's Amos Macintosh. Just everybody calls him Mac. It's a full name.
I'm just really trying to avoid saying Macintosh.
Really
I will
trying to
say-
avoid that one.
I will say every time Nulodius full name, but I won't say Macintosh. Copyright reasons, I
New name
suppose. I
every
don't know.
time. It's just-
You can't copyright the name of a fucking apple.
It's an apple.
I was about to say, Macintosh is an apple.
This one day we're gonna look over and
Well-
someone's gonna call me Linux. It's gonna be funny.
Linux.
Jonathan Gold.
Exactly.
Mozilla. I know it's not an operative system. Anyway, they have recovered some of the memories, figuring out a bit who they are, what they were doing in the ship, or at least more or less. Some being more vague, and some having probably not the best introduction inside the ship. But among those memories, Kasinkara, that is part of the counseling team inside the ship, had some memories of of them meeting the captain, and after some various discussions inside the bridge, couple of seconds after the pilots of the Dralark begin to get the ship ready to move to a next location to gather more resources for overall repairs of the ship. Hey, with some help of S, that has downloaded and saved the entirety of the Dralark schematics and map, takes begins finding like mentally where the captain quarter is, and the ship is yours to go as wherever you please at the moment.
Pilots, do you just mean Mac?
You can leave the other two pilots, which I
Can
forgot
rely
their
on these
We don't
guys?
have
Alright.
their names. We've never asked them their names.
I've never asked their names.
The
You
young
guys have-
Sheeran and the young Vesk.
Yeah, the best kind of Sharon. I keep forgetting that you guys have never asked their names.
You know what? We're gonna do this. If we can be anywhere, S is just gonna ask them their names.
Apropos of nothing, just hey.
Yeah, it's like, hey, we're on the bridge. I've never gotten your name. What is it?
For a moment, they're like doing the setup, preparing the engines, and they just turn from the seats to look at you. Okay, I feel a bit sore in my throat, so I'll try to do the best voice. I'm Navigator Augustus, and this is. And the Shirin begins speaking. For a moment, you begin hearing clickings, and you're like,
I
Yes.
understand.
you
Sharon.
hear.
I
Yeah.
don't, so Mac's response is, yes. Instant click clack. Got it.
In Shirin, you get Officer Dix. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I need to speak like you. Help Officer Kitix.
I will respond because I speak Sharon. With clicks. They don't sound as organic. They do sound slightly artificially produced, but you can speak your language with me.
If
In Sheeran, Kay is gonna look at them
noises.
and go, "How do you do that? Speak normal languages with your mouth, because I have a hard time vocalizing properly, which is why I just telekinesis or tele thoughts with everyone." I stopped on that word. I'm sorry, guys.
I swear to God,
It's okay.
I'm just gonna write click click, and that's its name now.
I will share their names in a moment.
Yeah, Kay needs help
So
properly vocalizing with people.
You just beam into our brains.
Yeah.
yeah, they could do that.
So I will say that this is Kay's first time hearing S speak Sheeran as well.
Isn't it everybody's
That
first time?
that has not gone past me.
Yeah,
I'm just
I understand. I'm just
Logging
making sure
it.
that notes.
Kitix
this
just
is like
looks.
a problem for future Kay.
Oh yeah, no. Right now it's very much. I need to speak normal people language, which isn't normal people language because we're in space. Every people language is normal people language.
Yeah. So the way you heard Kitix talking, it still has some of that clicking, like, whenever he said, "helm officer," like there was some like sound in that added R. But in general, he was able to, and he just says, "I don't know. I just am able to. I guess I studied before. It's just it comes like you have to make like commit from this section, and it's like showing it like how the physiognomy of the Shirin, like this section is just
Right.
like the bottom part of what would be like a centipede kind of thing. So they're like indicating, and they like shrug. I just know. The other thing has worked too. Is just I forget to do one and then do the other, and then I listen. The only thing I feel that feels normal is just ships for me right now.
I understand.
That I can get behind.
Thank you. And then I'm going to turn
Unless
to
that's
S.
in the brains.
And then I'm going to look at S and go, why have you not done that before now? You knew I was having trouble with this. And, like, this conversation is just between K and S telepathically.
Oh.
Oh, damn. I would have made a comment.
S replies, I didn't fully remember it until recently, and I've been meaning to talk to you about that. I just don't find a lot of time to pull myself away from other distractions.
That's very fair. I am often
Which one of the
very
two do you
busy.
look at?
He doesn't look at anybody at this moment. He is straight facing K.
Yeah, and Kay responding in the clicks of Sheeran, this time not being telepathic, is just I've been very busy on my quote free time, which is non-existent.
Yeah, speaking about that, and again, responding in Sheeran, just because right now it's in his brain, he'll turn to some other language eventually. If you've got time, I want to help you with the files, the ones that are blocked.
Oh, for Mac.
And if you've got others, but I know that one was the one that you had the most struggles with.
That would be appreciative. And then turn to everybody and go, I'm sorry, in Sheeran. Forgetting that they're not doing the telepathic thing, go back to the telepathic thing and repeat, I'm sorry, that was rude.
Not
Turns to
particularly.
S. Mac will just do the turn to S. Since when do you speak the bug language? No offense. Okay.
I think was before the whole deal with the trawler, but I've not fully remembered until recently, and I think it's due to proximity with Kay.
Well, it's not on camera when I do that. Sorry. Totally just it's interesting to hear you do it and them do it, because it sounds very different from each other.
Yeah,
each other.
I understand. It's probably because of my difference in vocalizations. Don't quite have the same.
Yeah, I'm sure that's it. Here's a question for Faye. Would Mac know by now? Could he have possibly figured it out? He's not dumb.
I would say within close proximity, yes.
Okay, so he's just not gonna say shit. But yeah, okay. Keep your secrets.
Well, it does present a fascinating possibility that people are still discovering whole languages that they don't know, that they know.
Oh, hold up my new arm. I still don't know how I got this.
I mean, if we want to talk about languages that I know, I'm quite the polyglot, it seems.
What a rude thing to admit to in public, sorry. I know what polyglot means, it sounds funny.
Guy, but I was about to make the same joke!
I feel like I have remembered at least 5 of the languages that I speak at this point, if not all of them.
No, I get it. Love who you love. You can be a polyglot, I don't mind.
S's face is just full confusion.
He doesn't say that. Sorry.
Kay stares
Private
unblinkingly
homeworld
into
chat.
the group.
You guys can't see the private homeworld chat, but there has been this discussion of the poly group for a bit. The poly ship for a bit. It's really
Just a
tough.
vector where it's
Yeah, down with the ship.
uh but
Yeah,
Anyway.
if you love
that's the bug language.
just love, man. I feel like we're on the wrong train here, Nelodius, and that based on the shade of S face and the tone of it, we may not know what they're saying.
I mean, I do know what polyglot means. I was making an innuendo.
Well,
Do you know what that word means?
okay. Now look here, child. At least I'm not the one with broken
Right,
bits.
Excuse me!
Let's get in the middle of this before anything starts.
Now Kay's watching this entire interaction with interest.
I feel that there are some vibes coming from you that I don't appreciate you with you being a therapist.
Oh, you're looking at Kay, okay.
And then
Kay's
now
like, I'm interested in the interactions of people.
I don't think this is a healthy interaction, especially as
It's still something
A
to
lot.
learn from.
yes, but perhaps not in the bridge where everyone who kind of has been looking to us for helping solve problems can oversee.
Fair.
You do see that there's been a good amount of the people in the bridge have been paying attention to this whole
Mess.
the part they understand, and you do see Katik's like he's like just from being like I'm just doing this because he's also here in the sharing part. He's like I'm not listening, like that thing that is like I'm working, I'm not listening, kind of physical behavior.
Right.
But you do get you look around and you see that.
Mac will just go, what are y'all looking at? Get back to work. Aren't you supposed to be doing jobs, keeping the ship afloat?
I want to send an apologetic look
Hi.
over to Vahivel.
Hi, buddy. What are you doing at my feet? If you want me to roll an intimidation, I can do that. Hi, can I not have you try to eat my computer cords while I'm doing a
You see,
ship?
Bohibel is and he has his mug of coffee. This is like near him, just staring.
Null shoots a look over to Ez and says in the Lashunta language, which I assume is called Lashunta, but I could be wrong.
Castravalian is
is.
what I believe
Okay.
Lashunta speak Castravalian.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know that. He just says sort of smarmily, I thought it was polite to not speak ill of the dead, but fuck me, I guess.
Responding, not in Castravalian, but definitely with a look of he understands. Let's talk things out later.
Kay is gonna look over and go, that's interesting. And then turn and walk away.
Oh my god, Kay speaks every language. We'll just start speaking in beeps and boops and Kay will know.
So S is going to leave the bridge, sans coffee. He looks longingly at the cup that Vahivel has.
So, are you guys moving as a group to the captain quarters, or are you going on separate ways? What is the plan from?
If anyone wants to go to the captain's quarters, S will lead. He's fine tagging along. Most of the stuff that he's got runs on its own, and the other stuff that he's got, he handles on his own.
Fair.
I could take a break from putting bodies into the biocomposter. I'll go look at the captain's quarters.
That's where Kay's going. Kay still has this idea that there's gonna be a body in there.
All right.
Not for long.
Into compost.
From a compost bin.
Alive or dead,
To the
there's a
composter to
body.
you.
Alive, dead, or re-dead, there's a body.
Okay, and where is Amos going? Is he going along with the group toward the captain quarters, or he's
Yes, he is, but like he grabs S a cup of coffee, like a mug of coffee, and then follows. Because he noticed S didn't grab coffee.
yeah?
He
Well,
knows better.
this will be not in the bridge itself, but like in the resting area for the bridge. So you have to like move to another room away from the elevator, and then go back to the elevator. So like either you, I mean, you could go for the coffee and then catch them.
Yeah,
It's not
do that.
far from where you are. For the captain quarters, even either you take some stairs that are inside the section of the bridge and the resting area, or you take an elevator just one level above you.
Yeah.
Okay. So eventually, you guys move as a group over there. As you're brought a cup of coffee by Amos
Oh.
Bart.
Thanks.
Mac is fine, Sakrin. You can call him Mac.
I'll be calling it as whatever jumped in my head first.
So, S takes the coffee, drinks it. It's the bridge coffee. It's better than what he's got in his little apartment, so he's fine with it. It's probably purely subjective, but that's how he feels.
You didn't grab any before you left, didn't you? Though.
Thanks. I just
Got longer legs. I can catch up faster. It's fine.
all right. And he just
From a rational standpoint, I can bring coffee back faster. He's really trying to rationalize that he got you this coffee for logical reasons and not because he definitely likes you.
S doesn't argue. He's got coffee.
He's really trying.
And as you move now with coffee in hand, the entrance to the captain's quarters doesn't seem any specifically lavish or any different. It looks like many of the different quarters entrances, even the officers. The officers are a bit more nicer, so they look a bit akin to that. And well, as is customary to do any of this, you arrive and see that the door is locked. So yeah, you can roll or take your time, and
Oh shit! I can take my time to appreciate this beauty.
I mean, there's no hurry right now. Like there's no
Yeah.
need to open this door to evade fire or something like that. So it's you can.
I'll take my time.
So it's gonna be 10 plus your modifier.
10 plus my modifier brings us to a 25.
What is the terrifying moment when you hear 10 plus your modifier? Because you know it's in the 20s.
Yeah. So it takes you a bit of extra time because there seems to be some extra security in this, even if most of it's fried and damaged by whatever happened to the ship before. But you eventually get it, and as the door opens, for two of you, Kay, you already had like a memory in here, and it looks familiar. And Melodious, this place also looks somewhat familiar to you, but the memories you more or less vague and fragmented you have of this place, they are of a more organized, more well kept, and less disastrous presentation. Inside of it, the like lobby area that would have the desk where you initially had that small interview with Kay, with the captain. There's clear marks of a fight here. There's some long cuts that seem to be done by something that was very, very sharp. It's like hot, probably very fine marks. Even it's not like a flamer mark, but more like very deep, thin, laser cut kind of thing. There's some marks of impacts across some of the walls, mostly toward the back. The marks are not on the side of the entrance door where you're coming in. The desk itself is also damaged. Even there's a section more toward the computer that is on the side where the captain would sit. There seems to be an impact there, and the computers in it don't seem to be even responding at the moment. And this is like the view you have in the moment.
Attacked by a rogue lightsaber. Got it.
Is there any
Or a
other,
cricket.
Yeah.
Is there any other rooms attached to this captain quarters room? Because
Yes,
I'm
this
gonna
seems-
go in and like do a sweep and just kind of continue to look through everything.
So there seems to be two sections. Well, actually, kind of three. This lobby area that seems to be more of a work office kind of thing. A lounge section that, as you enter and you receive into this, goes into the right side. That there's no door in it. There's just like continues in there. Some very nice resting area, some couches that you can see again, very nicely, a nice view into space. That now you can see it has turned into this the dark purple as you have entered the rift. You see there also a bit more of disaster, not as much in this lounge area. You see again, it's like a kitchen area, things like that, and the doors that are closed. Inside here, they don't seem to have the locking on, so you can just use the panel to open them, and you see what would be more of the actual
Living quarters.
bedroom. Yeah, like the actual bedroom area, and it also looks messy here. And among all of that, you do see, not hidden, just laying in the ground, a body.
I'm gonna check the body.
Check the body, and you see. You don't recognize immediately this individual. First, because there's some decomposition in it. You're not sure if it was because of the radiation or it was something else, but you do see it has some wounds in it from what seemed to have been a blade.
May I check
Has
the pockets and like I looking for identification?
The identification is kind of easy to find because it is in the jacket. It has the same uniform you have seen people in the bridge, and you do see that the name indicates to be the first officer.
Okay.
First Officer Cornelis.
Having kind of looked at the computers a little bit, but would be following Kay to make sure that they're all right. Did we find him?
No. This is the first officer.
That's unexpected.
I got a weird question about the decomposition.
Hmm?
In game, how long has it been since the I guess the onset of amnesia? It's been like 4 weeks now, I think.
No. So you had the first day where you managed to exit out the system. Then it was 5 days, and then it has been two to 2 and 4 days more.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's been
Like a week
almost
and a
2
half.
weeks. Yeah, like week and a half. You're
Okay.
getting to the weekend of the second week, kind of thing.
Gotcha. Does the level of decomposition on his body seem consistent with how I guess I should ask also what species is this body, and then is the decomposition what you would expect from that organic mass in these conditions?
Track.
If you wish, you can roll a medicine for it.
I would love to roll medicine.
Actually, can be medicine or arcana
Oh,
for anyone who has proficiency in those
Do you mean
skills.
mysticism?
Mysticism, thank you.
If I don't have proficiency, but I have a thing that allows me to roll, can I roll it?
What thing you have? Let me know.
what do you mean?
My
Yeah.
jack of all trades allows me to roll even on things that I'm not trained in.
Okay.
Oh, you know.
For you, it would be though mysticism.
All right, I can do that.
Okay.
I actually have trained medicine, so
Yeah. Whoever wants to roll medicine, and you got the information pertaining to that. And
I'm looking at different
whoever.
parts of the body, so I'm gonna say I'm not doing that.
Okay.
I'm a
So who
therapist,
rolled
not a
medicine?
doctor.
Could have rolled medicine, but I rolled
Medicine.
mysticism. Because why not?
medicine.
Okay, medicine. How much you rolled?
I want to preface this by saying my modifier is in fact what is this? 6? No, yeah, 6.
Be a minus.
I rolled a 20.
Like a dirty 20?
20 total?
No. This is a natural 20, but also it's a 6, so it's 26.
Ah.
Yay!
Okay. Okay. So, checking the body. It is weird for you that you are like, oh, you're picking at the different parts of like this individual. First of all, you get this human immediately by that, by the physiognomy of what you can get about it. Second, you see, and you're like, are you seeing what probably killed this person? Though it seems obvious that were the wounds caused by the weapon, the melee weapon, be a blade, be an axe, whatever it was. It has a lot. It has a
Knife
lot,
poisoning.
and
Yeah, knife
probably,
poisoning.
and like checking it a bit, like you even like get a bit close and check. Some of these cuts were deep.
I mean, if anybody's gonna know about stabbing.
And for the ones that rolled mysticism, how much you guys rolled?
24.
6. I rolled a 2.
As the
He's fucking dead.
intricacies of hacking and computer systems is something you're accustomed to. The mysteries of magic are a bit away from you, and you know it's dead. And you think with certain security that it's not going to rise again because there's no weird shit happening around that might raise it. So it should stay dead.
Keep my thoughts to myself because I think everyone knows that it should stay dead.
And for Nulodius, 24, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me get a look at that body.
Kay moves
You're
out
looking
of the
at it
way
then.
while they're looking at it and goes back to looking throughout the rest of the rooms. Just so you know.
Okay. You move your hand like to investigate. You know, not like exactly like move a bit the head, but as you move in your palm, you feel like a tingle, and you feel you sense a familiar energy that flew through this, like went through the body, one that you recognize in a way that brought you somewhat alive. A connection to energies that are meant to remain in the negative plane and are more akin to necromancy. But the essence in this one doesn't seem like the ones you've been throwing away in the composting. No, those are the normal ones, but you've been throwing out into the vacuum. You have carried some of them, and though there's like a very faint sensation of that memory, our arcane memory. This one seems more stronger. Like something affected this and made this composition faster, and probably there were more into it that make it, how to put it, the remains that you see are the remains of something that was a bit more empowered through that magic.
Oh, okay. So this is the mega zombie. Okay. I probably don't have enough information to ask the question I want to, so I'm going to ask a different question. That is, in having interacted with both the, I guess, animated undead and their corpses, and also being a very self-aware gentleman, do I get the same like sense of necromancy from all of those? Like, do I get the idea, and this is something maybe I don't know right now, but does Null have an inclination that the same thing that raised the zombies are why he's alive again? Did that make any sense?
Yeah, if like the question is what made the zombies be zombies was the same thing that brought Null back to life.
Yes, like the boiling water that hardens the egg softens the potatoes type situation.
Wow, never thought about it. Okay, give me a moment while I process that. No, I think, in a way, yes, there was definitely a part of that energy that erupted out of that dying star that engulfed the Dralark. At the same time, there was an attempt to revive your life. Had something to do with it. How much it was that, and what exactly happened in that process, it's kind of eludes you, but you feel that you get the sense that for a soul to return to its body and for the biological functions to be back to it, there needs to be a combination of things. And in the mystical way, what the energy that was able to bind life back to your body was that necrotic energy. What made the difference to make your soul enter the body and give yourself life in the new way you have? The answer for that is not yet there. You will need to research more on that.
Gotcha. Okay, I understand.
I think I understand, but I'm just gonna believe you.
So, Null, after having crouched down and looked at this body for an upsetting amount of time,
Same.
I'm just drinking coffee.
Honestly, we're both down here just staring at this body.
oh, I bet it
Somehow
smells like
come to-
shit in here.
We've somehow come to two different conclusions.
The smell here, now that you're thinking about it,
Week old corpses. Yay!
Yay!
there
Why I'm drinking the
is
coffee, so I only get coffee smell.
Or do you
When
get
you-
corpse coffee smell?
when you enter, there was a smell of like burnt, like very faint, probably of the enclosure of this, and that
barbecue.
some of the but when you were next to the corpse, there's no smell coming out of it. It is as if
That's
bacteria or
suspicious.
anything that was or could have grown in it
Didn't.
wasn't able to be in it.
Oh my god, zombie bacteria.
Alright, I
And
see.
and in a way, like this thing was robbed of any possibility of even generating a piece of life, even microscopic, to generate that. So it's unsettling being next to it. Like, it should smell bad, but it smells like it's missing that.
Oh, that's cool as hell. Oh,
That's cool, but disturbing. He's
the
totally
bacterias
dead.
are dead. Okay, so Mel's gonna stand up and just.
Yes, Mel, we've both come to conclusions. We should talk about such things.
Yes, so I have concluded that this should smell like shit and doesn't. Also,
Yes, that is right. That bodies smell.
bodies do smell. Yes, I've been composting them for 2 weeks now.
Yes!
Um,
Yes, you have! That is a
Amos,
disturbing thing that we know.
Amos Mac, with the role of your medicine, you'll probably catch that too. That there should be at least some growth of fungus, bacteria, something of the decomposition in this body, but it's like it's missing. And even the wounds, like you see them and like there's no blood in it, there's no meat decomposing. The bone is there, but the coloration of it,
But it's
it's
Still white.
it's like post-mortem stabbing.
it's not
There's
white.
nothing there.
The bone in it doesn't seem white. It seems darkened, but not in a charred way. It seems. I even touching it. Now that you have touched it, actually,
I don't touch it. I definitely don't touch it.
you didn't touch it?
No.
Okay, then you would have noticed that part.
Faye loves the implications of this, but Ez has no idea what's going on.
So I can see the bones, but the bones are definitely not the right color. Because human bones, for edification of audience and second grade, are not white. Inside your body, they're pink. Depending on whether or not you've actually taken medications.
blood is made in the bone marrow.
Blood is made in bone marrow, which is inside of your bones. Bones are pink. But these are dark.
Yeah.
Like black? Or
Kind of.
just like
Licorice
gray.
bones.
Yeah, like gray, brown,
No
bad
brown.
color.
No, it's more of tones of dark gray and black. But definitely
Definitely
wherever
not brown.
No, there's no meat in it either way.
Well, the brown wouldn't necessarily mean meat. It would mean dead
No.
blood cells, but
No, but I mean that's what I'm like. That's what I meant. Like, there's no
Yeah.
fluids. There's nothing left in this, and
there's
Is-
nothing to. I'm like looking at a mummy, basically. Or am I looking at a skeleton?
with that role of medicine, and again, as you're like figuring, like these all like questions are coming in your mind as you're like, what am I looking at? This, you know how a hand would look. You know, like how the bones of a hand would look.
Yeah. Well, actually, yes, Sekrin, I do know what the bones
I
of
know.
the hand look like, and
Yeah.
the muscular makeup of all the people in this call. Yes, actually, Sekrin, I do. So yeah, go ahead.
The bones of the fingers seem to end more in a claw way. There seem to be in between the bones. There seemed to be something forming where there would be a muscle, but it's made of that same material. And then you see the arms where there would be openings in between certain bones. Something has sealed it up and made the bones be thicker. The more you see this corpse, the more you're like,
He was
what is this?
infected with something. That's an infection. Or something changed his cellular makeup. Like, that's a cellular change to get, and not just that, like a genetic makeup, because those cells have to reproduce to create that much change.
Question. the zombies that I've been hurling out the airlock, do they also have black bones? Dark bones?
No, no,
Oh.
they had more the composition of decay. They had the indication of like you just saw them even whenever they were waking up, how the flesh was decaying rapidly, but you saw the process of it happening. And even when they were already dead, though the process went back to normal speed, you still saw like you know flesh. You saw the bone on the normal coloration. You saw fluids. This doesn't have that.
So
And
I've go,
Mhm. No,
go
go
ahead. Polite doormats. It has come to my attention that perhaps we are viewing, as a botanist, I tend to view life as a one-way street, and sort of an on or off thing. Either something is alive or something is dead, unless we're talking about fungus, in which case, who knows. But it would seem to me that this is an instance where we are looking at death on some sort of spectrum, where things can be alive or dead or somewhere in between. And I would like to point out also that our friend, the first officer here, is not dead or undead in the same way that our
The
airlock,
friends in the airlock, or the
formerly in the airlock, currently in the void of
Formerly-
space.
formerly in the airlock, or the ones that are now currently resting in your recycling bin.
Well, those ones are just dead.
Those ones are just dead.
I'm
These
talking more about
neither.
those rather unpleasant
The
undead we
unpleasant
faced.
things that we may have re-killed.
Yes. So
Is
they
that the
were
correct term? Re-kill?
killed again. Yes, re-killed, and I don't
I'm
know.
gonna go with re-killed, and you are the plant doctor.
There's a word for that. But anyway, they were sort of, biodegrading faster than you would expect. Sort of ecosystem unto themselves. On
Well, that may be
bacteria,
true. This guy
micro.
isn't.
Exactly. That's is
No,
what strikes me as.
just that there's something else here. Like, and Mac will point out these muscles shouldn't be here, along with what's going on in his hand. This is more of a claw.
Was it the
Something's
black
wrong.
bones that clued you into the something is not right here?
Actually, plant doctor, it was the muscular
Children,
tissue.
can you
if
stop
you
fighting?
would have something, the black bones are just a bonus at this point. And
A bonus?
For your information, humans can have multiple colored of bones.
Well, I wouldn't know. I've never seen a human bone. That's not true at all, actually. Scratch that. What did you say, Kay?
Are you done fighting over nothing?
No, I'm not.
Obviously not,
It
Kay.
is semantics at this point.
This man has died from knife poisoning and whatever the hell else was infecting his body.
Hey, you said this was the first officer, yeah?
Yes.
Do you, think there is any merit in checking his quarters for any information on why he may have been here doing some sort of fighting? Do you think perhaps he was planning a mutiny of sorts?
I'm not certain. Of course, I'm not
Do
certain
we-
of anything. So that's
Do
a
we
thing.
want to put that on our list?
Most of them
Perhaps.
things that we have to do consistently all of the time. Yeah.
I would also recommend, after you're done researching this corpse, as I assume the two of you bickering would like to do,
We stopped bickering. For now.
I'm sorry. It was not becoming of us. Go on.
the point is the captain isn't here. It's possible we missed identifying him in the airlock if something else happened. We'll have to figure that out.
It's rather commonplace for the captain of a ship to keep some sort of captain's log. Correct? Is that something that would be digitally kept? Like pointed eye contact as, or
Well,
a
yeah.
notebook?
It seems like most things are kept digitally on that ship, so that would make sense, unless you're just one of them old school folk. Much like yourself. Perhaps you did write that down in a physical journal. Well,
Kay has been looking around.
Hex the computers. Perhaps we should look for a physical thing.
I mean, I can check into his computers seem damaged, but I can see if the hardware will respond.
Okay. So whoever is checking for physical copies or specific pads that may be around, perception, and for S, I'll make your life easy.
I have computers or engineering. I can
You
do either.
go-
They are the same.
When you go to check the computer in his desk, you see that the impact definitely damaged heavily this. And it takes you a couple of moments of like moving panels around, seeing the inside of it fried.
Yeah, I figured this when I saw it, but it doesn't help to double check.
I got a 26.
26. 8.
Oh, Noel's
Um,
not helping.
Okay. And in searching around for this, you find some books, different kind of topics, very varied from history, from culture, from spacefaring, some not many, but some like fictional novels, and among all of that, there's some curious readings that are more of old tales of fantasy, but personal journals, you don't find any at the moment.
Okay.
You do find among the things spread around, there is a hat. Like it's more of a frame, like that photo frame, digital. And we're looking at it, uh, though the image kind of it's like a bit glitchy. You do see the photo of the entirety of the bridge crew.
Isn't that adorable?
Though there's something odd about it. Some of the faces seem to be blurry.
Oh,
Fascinating.
And that's something you find, Kay. Something you find, Mac, is a pad, information pad. You're like, okay, another of the many pads that are around in the ship that contain different information. This might be useful. And it just like begin seeing the dates and information that is here, but it's more of very banal things like reports that probably the captain received. Again, same situation that has been occurring in any storage of information. There's pieces missing. Though you do see in some places mention the information being sent by the adjutant. Actually, I should clarify with you guys. How do you spell this fucking word? How do you say that?
where is it?
I'm
Oh,
typing it in the Homeward.
Oh, I see.
And
Okay.
and where the crack chat is.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm wrote it.
Adjunct.
I'm not.
Adjunct.
Oh, hold on.
Adjutant?
That.
Oh,
Adjunct.
okay. There's no
adjunct?
J.
Adjunct.
Yeah.
Adjunct.
Adjunct? Or is it?
Adjunct.
Hang on. This doesn't look like a word I've ever seen.
We have educated people.
Hang
You're
on.
smart.
Adjunct, perhaps?
Okay, where?
Hold on.
Adjutant.
Adjutant.
Yeah, adjutant.
Adjutant.
Okay.
Adjunct.
I googled it.
I've never heard of that word.
And
It
Yeah,
means a
it's-
military officer who acts as an administrative assistant to a senior officer.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
okay,
The
yeah,
gone.
yeah. It mentions in various passes the adjutant, the ship's adjutant. Like it mentions that every now and then in the spaces that the information is still available to check.
The adjutant still has the adjutant still has the information.
No, it mentioned like the information was sent to it, or you receive information from like as it's mentioned as part of the
Like the
probably the
message
crew that
chain.
was
Yeah, like it was CC'd to this person.
non CC, but like they were part of the chain of the
Chain of
officers or
custody?
people running the ship.
Chain of command.
Yeah, part of the chain of command, but it seems that it reported to everyone. You see that there were messages sent to the adjutant from science and arcane division, information sent from engineering, information sent from the security detachment, from eh, different stores, from the like everyone at some point sent something there, and the adjutant sent something to the ship, or they sent things to it. Like
They were the massive secretary for the entire ship.
Yeah, I am going
Sort
through
of
this
that.
pad and like,
Administrative
going through
assistant.
all of this. I'm going through all of this information because this seems like it could be helpful.
um. Okay, are you sharing that with?
I'll share I'll share the information readily, but I'm going through it as to be useful.
Okay. Yeah. Again, the information is kind of scattered. Same situation that has been found around, um, but it is mentioned across, and it seems to be like everywhere almost. Report like people reported to it. It reported to people. It brought things to. I not though some of the wordings that you're able to pick up never say anything like physical.
What is it talking about? Like, what specific information did it gather? Because this is the adjutant's pad, and not
No,
the
this
person,
seems to be the path of the captain.
the captain's pad, and it got information
You're seeing where information flowed through
everywhere.
to
Yeah,
the adjutant.
to the adjutant. Was the adjutant looking for anything particular,
Probably not.
or commonalities going through each of the threads of information?
Um, I think I'll need you to roll some intelligence out of this. Actually, it might be more of a computers or straight intelligence, as you're trying to pick information from a
With computers, visits.
from an email address that is missing information, like incomplete.
I've lost the ability to do math. Give me a second. $31. Computers check. I rolled
Okay.
a 19.
Okay, so as you're reading through this and picking and trying to do whatever you can with this path to recover some information, and you also piecing it together, it seems that this adjutant was not a physical person.
I figured
Like
you were getting
Siri?
that. Yeah, it's like an AI.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like you're piecing like
I recognize that. Kay has no idea. Kay is fiddling around with a photograph.
yeah. You gather that and probably this was mentioned at some point by S as they were trying to restore systems inside the ship, and like whenever you were in this apartment was like you asked like what are you doing, and S was like he's trying to piece together things, and in that small talk was like a bit of frustration that there seems to be stuff missing here, and you're like the adjutant was missing. Like this entire ship probably, yeah, everybody had to do something in the ship, but for it to fully run, there has to be
The ship had itself a brain, and the brain itself got amnesia when it got hit by the thing. And that's what the AI was.
Unless the AI was taken by somebody.
Mm-hmm.
What if the AI is as they just don't remember?
Russ, I swear to God, if I have to plug you into a computer, I'm gonna lose my shit.
When you think that idea, like the AI also got amnesia, is like you remember one of the things that they mentioned that it looked like the computers also had amnesia.
Yeah, because that's guys. I mean, the computers have amnesia, and AI is an artificial brain. Basically, it learns and it communicates and it moves like we do with thoughts and processes, but it's a computer. So we all have amnesia. Mac is technically just a living computer, and he has amnesia. What? Because it's totally possible for an AI.
The ship got its cache cleared. No one's passwords are stored. Someone hit reset. Someone cleared the browsing data on our ship.
Set the ship to its factory defaults.
No,
and just didn't tell anybody.
We've all been set to our factory defaults. Except null is a second hand. You know, like when you go and you're like, I'd like to get an iPhone. Like I've got a refurbished one.
Yeah.
Memory wiped, but it's been used before.
Toyota Corolla that's on its second owner.
Okay.
Yeah, that's information you gather out of this.
Okay.
That does not work.
Why would the faces in this photo be blurred? It's a photo.
Mac has the math symbols floating around his head.
Is it a physical photo or is it a screen with a picture on it?
Screen with a picture on it.
Ah, okay.
Oh my God!
I was under the thought process
The
I had
computer
a
has
physical
amnesia!
photo.
No, it's more like one of those like picture frames that shows the digital photo.
Yeah, no, I got you. We're good.
Yeah.
Based
Is it possible?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. You were going to say the same thing I was going to. Go ahead. Say it.
Is it possible to piece together who is who in the pictures based on the races that I know that the crew members above are, and figure out who is missing?
Yes, I'm just thinking if this would be no, this wouldn't be a role because you already work on piecing together along with Noel about the listing of who is alive and who's dead.
Right.
So you would be able to piece together. And after like figuring out this, like there's some of those that are like unnamed NPCs that just are around.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but you do see like Bohibel, you see Megon and Kreltuan, though they have a very formal Skyfire Legion attire compared to the rest that have their like normal Dralark uniform, but they're among them. You do see among them, the Bernary one. You see the two pilots. You don't see S. You don't see Mac. And there's three individuals who have their face kind of blurred.
Okay.
One in the middle, like the right in the middle, which uniform seems to be slightly more adorned. One next to it, and one that has in their uniform the colors of the Science and Arcane Division.
Okay.
Curiously enough, as you're looking in the photo, among the faces you see, you don't see where Null would be. And you know Null is part of the officers.
Okay. I'm just gonna float with that information. I will share with them that the digital faces are blurred for some of these people, but most of them for the crew, at least for the officers, are recognizable if you want to look at it.
That's when Mac shouts about the computer having its data cache cleared.
Question about the picture. Does it look like it was taken on the bridge or like in front of an academy of some kind? Was it taken on the ship? Was it taken before we got on the ship?
The background of it, the main center of this photo is this bridge crew, but you do see like this whole section is the bridge crew, and this section up here, you do see like more in this area the name of Dralark that seems to be a bit far, and there seems to be over platings of metal.
Okay.
And like you see also some windows far on that corner, and you get the idea that it might be the background might be the ship.
Okay.
So probably they took this in a dock or in Absalom Station back home.
Okay. Some tasty info.
So Kay is going to be done looking around and look to the other three and do with this what you will. I have patience to see. And they are going to leave.
Before you leave, as is, when you've got time, just let me know when it's good for me to come over to help.
S, I don't have time. That's the problem. Come over when it's convenient for you, and I will make time.
Understood.
So you walk out of the captain's quarters and begin making your way toward your you're heading back to your
Office.
office, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Meanwhile, the three of you.
S has got no plans. Well, he's got plans, but they're not going to go into action just quite yet.
Wait, I think, Zircon, you've already asked me that, and I sent you a DM about it a couple days ago. About what Mac wants to figure out.
Yeah, but
Hopefully,
like
maybe?
Yeah, I've got
and this
I've got nothing for the captain. I was here because Kay wanted to come, and I was helping.
Same.
Oh, I feel bad for Kay's behavior.
No.
Honestly, if Kay asked me to just walk on the outside of the ship, I probably would.
Yeah.
Kay is super duper frustrated, and I apologize for that.
It's okay. Kay can be frustrated.
I think it's partly
So-
the bickering twins' fault.
So with that, I think we will start our time skip. So just for audience sake, we will be just covering things that happened in the next 2 weeks-ish time. And I think I know where I would like to start with this. Okay.
Okay.
You go, and the rest of that day, it's a bit tough. Fortunately, at least that day, there is no particular difficult situation to talk. Just again, actually, it begins to get difficult because it's just the retreating topic that everyone in this ship, including yourself, are going through of my memories are coming. I'm not sure what I'm doing. What is the situation? I'm stressed, anxiety. By the end of that day, you have repeated instructions for controlling an anxiety attack for probably 10 different people. And though you're following those, it's tiring. The next day, you were hoping that the music in your room was going to help you. Kind of doesn't. You wake up and try to get some coffee, and Twisty is there, like trying to animate you, but you're just tired. It's not an easy day. Begin working, and I'm not gonna RP with you 3, 4, 5 different sessions of therapy.
No, but I imagine Kay is internally like, how do I even know all of this stuff? It's coming out of me, but I don't even know what I'm saying to people anymore. And they're having this increasing mental break that is coming slowly as the days progress to a point. So what are you gonna do, DM?
I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do something.
Oh,
Help
really?
my poor
And-
character.
During this time skip, because of the way that I now plan S, can I just make a quick thing? So, S would be trying to break the Max files in the night while K is sleeping. So he'd be staying up late, getting in on his own, and working on that. So he's leaving just notes that he was here and what he's accomplished for K, so that there's always like that constant communication. So at some point, Kay would see this, just so that way.
You notice, and this is odd for Kay, there is no response back. There is no love note left.
Mhm.
It is just like, there is, you get the idea that there's probably just like recognition, like, you know that the note has been seen because it's been moved, but there's nothing back.
I think seeing that, S starts writing. It's not quite things like, everything's going to be okay, but just little things that let you know that he sees as well. It very much becomes a thing where there's no expectation of a response, but there is things that are keeping that kind of there.
Like, you can talk to me, that kind of crap.
It's more just like, not even like specifically saying you could talk to me. It's more like, this was a bitch
Leave,
to deal
love,
with.
laugh.
It's like, after making the comment of I was here, I did this, it was like, really was a bitch, but we're all dealing with struggles, and just more like insinuating you can talk to me, but not pushing at all.
Right.
Your second tie looks nice today.
Second tie looks nice today.
Changes ties in between patients just to try to like liven themselves up a little bit.
Just to feel
I was more
something.
referring to Twisty, but yeah.
But yeah,
That's
that's
on the
just
third
something
tie.
that I would, because of the reaction, S kind of changed where he was going, and it was like, all right, well, Kay needs time to rest. I'm up late.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay.
So, a couple of days pass, and in one of those times that you have for yourself, you have a fruit next to you, so begin carving, and you're like lost in those thoughts again, that frustration. And what brings you back to the now is suddenly you feel a bit of a sharp sensation in your palm as you see that one of the cuts you did a bit too strong and cut in a bit of your palm.
It's just the blade sticking out of the carapace.
Not as much. It's just like you're cutting and just like do this,
Mm.
like a quick cut and just like get you a bit. Fortunately, you have the medical center next to you, and go there. One of the main doctor is not available at the moment, so you see one of the nurses. They also seem busy, and they tend you in. What kind of sets you off to walk out in an unnaturally frustrated manner that shows more is the fact that they just tell you to take it easy.
If only.
I just want to hug Kay so bad.
You begin wandering across the different hallways, and it's for the moment, even in your path, like you have figured out now a way, thanks to the repairs of the engineering team and our hacker man of the group, that there's a way you can through your paths and like things, messages, and like you move from appointments away, so you have more time and just wandering. Eventually, you reach this main section of the ship. I forgot the name. I gave it to it. The living and recreation area.
Habitationals.
It's kind of coming back to life.
A zombie?
I imagine
Like,
more people remembering, oh yeah, I'm
Yes.
supposed to work here.
Yeah, there's people coming back and repairing more stuff, setting things. But there's a place that has been untouched. It's this like bookstore. And as you're looking at it, two memories come. One is not a physical memory, like you don't recognize how was the memory, but just a sensation of that place being nice to be. Probably some books you got there. The other memory, it sours that sensation and brings you back to the reality as one of the crewmates that you and all listed that were no longer alive was reported to be the owner of this bookstore.
Mm.
So it just sits there. Seems to be no one is there, empty, abandoned. But could be a place with no sound in it. Maybe that could be good, maybe. Or just going back to your room.
I'm gonna go into the bookstore.
Okay.
With the thought process of maybe I can find something to give better advice to people.
Okay.
Better
You
advice
walk
for
in
me.
and you walk in and it's quiet. There's books thrown around, some still in their places. It doesn't seem to have that in this bookstore there was a struggle, so perhaps the owner wasn't here when whatever happened to them happened. You're walking around and at the beginning you're with an intended purpose of I'm gonna look for this. But then you're like seeing around. There's a nostalgia in it. Feels kind of a physical representation of your memory. Like all those books around, places and things you should have known just now spreads and without purpose, without order. And suddenly that silence gets broken by the sound of a ow, and the sound of things falling and hitting something. Hitting something soft first and then hitting something hard.
I'm gonna look for the sound.
I'm sorry. This is the last picture. The
Press
chat.
What did you guys
The
do?
Sorry, I'm terrible. I'm just an awful little guy.
You're our awful little guy. We love you.
It's fine. It's perfect.
It's my fuck hug.
So you go into the sound. It seems to be more deeper into this bookstore. It's of a good size. Could have good variety. It probably has more in the E and the electronic section, but you go deeper into it. And getting to a shelf section, where there's a desk. They have the normal greenish colors, some lines that have a bit of different shades of green, but in general seems normal type of desk. They have the security uniform, not the one corresponding to the Skyfire Legion, but just the ones assigned to the ship seems to be. And they seem to have some books in their arms as they're picking some others and like trying to put them in the place. They seem just mind their own situation of putting books in it, like putting them back again and rubbing their head a bit.
Are you okay?
Oh, some of the books jump in its arms. Yeah, it's just me silly. Just some. I was trying to put them up and fell in my head, but yeah, I'm all right. He stares at you for a moment. Sorry, I shouldn't stare like that.
I'm getting used to it.
No, it's just, it's gonna sound weird, but it looked familiar. Like, it just, don't know. Can put my finger on it. Just look familiar. Not like I wasn't. I'm sorry. Um, um, uh, can I help you with something? A book, something? He like approaches for a desk that towers a bit over you. It's bulky. It definitely looks muscular and has a security uniform. He seems to be like a dork. Like he's just, even in his face is instead of that face you see in the other desk have like, walking around that is like a bit tough kind of thing looking. Even when they're not trying to do, when you have been talking in therapy with some of them, they have that their teeth are sharp and they seem to be grinning. This one, maybe because of the situation, maybe of the personality, they just seem like not as intimidating.
Okay. I came here looking for something, but then I heard you say ow. As for the recognizing, I've been around the ship a lot, so maybe you've just seen me around. I'm not sure. But as for help, I was gonna try to help you.
Oh, well, if you wanted to like help me, here's some books. Well, there's like late all around, so I could use some help reorganizing, putting them back together. Honestly, just doing this just for a bit of a rest, before going back to work. But sure, no, I'm fine. But I could get a hand or two helping putting them away.
You're security, right?
Um, uh-huh.
What sorry, this is probably rude, but I've been rude a lot lately. What part of the ship do you work in?
Oh, yeah, maybe I am. Sorry, I'm Lieutenant Barzak. I'm assigned to the armory.
Okay. I'm
Um,
I'm Kastankata. I'm one of the
oh,
counselors.
hmm. See, I don't think I've seen you on the ship. I've seen other like you, but not like your colors. And you do seem different. I haven't gone to the council yet. I should. Uh, you still look familiar. Hmm.
Maybe you
It's
knew me
just,
before. A lot of people are still piecing together their memories, and I apologize, but I I don't think I recall. And they're gonna get like Kay is gonna get this really distant look for a minute. Like they disassociate really hard
Mhm.
for about 30 seconds. And then they just shake their head and I'm sorry, let me help you with the books. Maybe I'll find what I'm looking for while we're putting them away.
Sure. Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. Just pick any and take them to the place. Luckily, there are like signs here that indicate what each section is doing. These ones are just for like historical compilations. They're fun. I'm just putting them. But yeah, just grab a pile and go on. Right. I,
Kay's gonna nod and pick up a couple books off the floor and start putting them away.
you begin doing this, and you just, fortunately, most of the like books that are around Lane are near the corresponding sections. There were some that do like you find yourself in the section that talks a bit of science, and then you suddenly find one that talks about magical studies. So it's not exactly from here. It's like on a couple shelves away somewhere, but and as you're doing that, it's calming. You every now and then hear like a soft humming from Varsak. As he's just doing his thing too.
Okay.
It's overall the two of you working in the same area, but not really acknowledging much of each other. He seems to be also his own thoughts.
After probably about an hour of just working, Kay's going to effectively give him her card, like her business card,
Yeah.
and be like, this is where my office is. If you need to talk to someone, I've been helping a lot of people on the ship. Or if you need a
Oh.
quiet place to go,
Oh.
if other people are here.
He stares at the card, and you do see subtly familiar. You see him for a moment disassociating too before he shakes his head. Yeah. Maybe I.
What books do you like to read?
Um. I don't know. Um. I yeah. I only know I like to read. I have some in my rooms, but I don't. I'm beginning to read them, and I don't know if I really like to read them or before or not because I found them a bit boring. So I came here, and I've been reading some. I try a bit of different things that I found, but I haven't had much time. Just busy.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that. And once again, Kay's like, oh god, what am I doing here? And then they kind of look back over and they're like, well, like like you said, I have a lot of books in my room too, but most of them are about like psychology of the different races and stuff like that. So I was trying to find something, I don't know. Maybe some tips on something relaxing to read instead of science. I need a break from people. But I have to help people, so that's a thing.
Can I ask you? Not. I mean, kind of because you're a counselor, but also like as a person, from person to person, not from crewmate to crewmate, if you might say that way. What if we don't want to do the jobs we were doing before?
Well, I would say there's plenty of openings around the ship to do something else. I know the owner of this particular establishment is deceased, along with so many.
Oh,
Maybe if
fuck.
you really wanted to, you could take it over. I don't know. I'm not the boss. I'm really good at talking to people normally, but I don't know, I'm more comfortable right at the moment. So I don't know what I've been saying to people. How any of it makes sense, but it does, and it makes them feel better, so I will keep doing that because it feels like the right thing to do. If what you're doing isn't the right thing for you, then change it.
Well, not many people left in the armory after when we woke up, and some. It wasn't good. I just Let's just say that it's not many people left in the armory nowadays, and someone has to take care of it. And that big guy, the one with the wings, what's his name? Uh, Girls one, I think it's called. They've been asking quite a few things lately, and just me and another guy left there, so gotta do it, right? As you said, it's. But hey, I'm not certified as you as any of the council people, but if you give me a car, but like maybe find you the contacts of the ship or something like that, and you can find me too. And I don't know, like if you need help with anything, um,
Let me know if you
I'm
find a
sorry.
good book.
Sure.
And when you
What
finish
do
reading
you?
it,
Oh, okay. Sure. Actually, I finished this one over here, and like he walks like it kind of like in a hurry, like this quick, just is like from like how like a child suddenly gets excited, like this and goes, uh, grabs a book, brings it back to you. This one, I kind of enjoy it. It's not long. You see, like probably 300, 400 pages. Um, and it is a very weird book, kind of comedy. A bit dark, but like that just lately has been catha- ca- ca- mm,
cathartic.
ah, that word. Thank you. Um, so yeah, just give it a read, and maybe when you finish it, I don't know, send me a message or finding the armory. No, not the armory. Just here, maybe.
I'll make sure I clear my schedule once a week. If you're here, then maybe we can both find books.
Yeah, and bit by bit.
I love Ray's like book buddy, book buddy.
Man, that part of me really hopes that you just picked up Noel's book.
I was actually wondering if we picked up Noel's book.
Yeah.
I was thinking it,
The
but I
other
said
one.
not yet.
Not yet.
I said not yet.
The shitty one.
Yeah, the not good one. Yeah, that one. This is my favorite book. Hands you Noel's least selling book.
Anyway.
Yeah, with pleasure, and if anything. Question: would Kay have her gun at her side at the moment?
I'm rolling a dice. We're gonna find out together.
Heck yeah. I love that answer.
Oh, that is odd. So no. Even
Okay.
yes, odd no. That's usually how I roll.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Then I'll see you around here, and if anything is required for
Sekrain.
um
He would notice she has the blade from
Mhm.
the food art
Mhm.
is actually still in her bandaged hand because she never put it down when she went to go get it fixed.
Okay. Yeah. So just when you say it's still there, like you're holding it, right?
Yeah,
Kay's holding it.
yeah.
Okay.
Kay
Stabbed into the
forgot.
hand.
Kay forgot that they were holding it, and it's still there.
Um.
And now, like the other
Yeah.
hand has the book that he handed her. That
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Just what kind of knife is that? Looks funny. Bit small.
Oh,
Sorry.
no,
it shouldn't be just.
That's a good question. I carve fruit to try to relax. Well, at least I do it to try to relax now. I'm surprisingly dexterous at it. Well, most of the time, as indicated. But yeah, I use knives and I have a small stun gun because I don't really like to hurt people. But the stunning seems to be good in combat.
Mm.
Also, yelling at things, I've learned. I can scare things. I don't like doing it anymore, though, because I've scared the only people that I would consider friends, maybe? I'm not sure how to describe them. One of them, I think, is a friend. The other one is deathly afraid of me, I'm sure. And the third, I'm pretty positive I've pissed off quite a bit.
So sorry.
Well, if you or any of them need anything for your weapons, I mean, if you give me like a day or two to just calm down, I can do some adjustments, things. I don't know about food art knives. I think I could make them more deadly, probably, but I don't think that's what you need for a fruit.
I will
But-
let them know because they all use weapons for combat and to kill things. And when we went down, there were these nasty, bird-like things with teeth.
Went down, down to
To the
planet side.
Yes, we were that.
Oh,
group.
you are. Oh, okay, yeah. I have heard about you guys. Oh, so you're with them. Okay. Well, yeah, sure. Just come around the armory in advance, please. It's just,
I
it's just
will message you a day beforehand.
okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Yes. It's just it helps dealing with it. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
get him this bookshop. He deserves it.
He does deserve it. This poor guy. So yeah, I'm gonna go. It was nice meeting you.
Yeah, it's the same. Just take care, and I'll be seeing you around.
Yeah. And then Kay's gonna go to their office to read for a little bit. And probably finish the book in like a day.
It is kind of a bit of a dark humor comedy of a guy in a prison and how in a way they enter being cynical about like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be in prison, I will be here forever, whatever. But how through being engaged in this life, not having freedom, he finds joy in the little things, in those around them, in making bonds with people that are in that same situation. And some people that, they genuinely regret about what they did, and some this topic does like this book brings some topics of like people have done some very shitty things. It's like,
Right.
okay, thank you for it doesn't describe, but that definitely lets you know that some of these people,
It insinuates.
yeah,
Okay.
and some of the jokes are like, I'm laughing, but it's like, oh, that's not a joke I will tell out loud. Kind of
Right.
brave in that part, but it leans more to that idea of being free by losing your freedom and
Okay.
freeing yourself from what you were before.
So with this, like, with having read the book, Kay will leave a note for S and just be like, I'm doing a little better now, but thank you. And then go back to the bookstore after like a week. So, because they would probably be too busy within the rest of that week taking care of people
Yeah.
on the ship. But setting aside that one day a week to not help people on the ship and try to help themselves. So they don't have a mental break in front of their friends.
Yeah. And how much time we have left? 9:47.
Not a lot.
I am sorry,
No.
guys. This was a K episode. I didn't mean it to
We-
be.
I
No, it was
stan
great.
K.
I
Okay.
stand K. Next time it'll be The Adventures of S.
Or Melodious. Or Mac.
Definitely not Mac.
Who knows? Maybe.
You've now put yourself at the top of the list.
Yep.
God, no. Second roll dice.
I would say that let's jump to someone very particular in this group.
Don't. I've already called myself out for next session. Second, don't do it.
Just roll a d4 and
I'll
take
t-
me out of it.
No, I know how I'm gonna start this. The silence in your room, it's comfortable, though going every time back to the officer's quarters gives you some anxiety, Melodious, as you have to walk near that hallway. So you evaded it every now and then.
Love that hallway. Hate.
Whenever you forget, you walk through it, but you're like, for a moment, get that anxiety and see that nothing happens. Maybe it was just a bad moment. Couldn't be anything real. But now you have, at least for the moment, because now you know you have learned thanks to the recovery of more information. Some of the assignments you have, you're like, oh, bollocks, I'll have more time occupied.
Mhm.
But in your free time, you've been perusing the book. with your diaries, your memories, and dream recollections. There's a odd pattern. I think I mentioned it last time that at the beginning it seemed like weird, peaceful visions, but toward the more recent ones, the dates begin not appear, they begin showing more signs of being more uncomfortable. I would even say violent.
Oh.
The mention of, instead of hearing voices, hearing a particular voice looming over and trying to find clues in it, it always gets you to the last page that was written. Scramble maniacally in it, just saying, it has arrived. It's not exactly the peaceful reading you would like to have every night. So you go back to read one of those books that you had um, in your shelves, and you start with "It will all be okay" and other lies to help you sleep, because, awful enough, sounds appropriate for the situation. And the story itself starts with this space adventurer going outside of the pack worlds and getting lost, crashing into this alien world. Breathable atmosphere, probably a place you could survive, but dangerous in a way. The way it's written and the way you've been catching some of your other books, you begin to have a suspicion about who wrote this. It's not confirmed yet. But it's like around the third day, more or less, third, fourth day, you close the book, put it to your side, take a deep breath, and just go to sleep in whatever is the attire you choose to sleep. I imagine some like Victorian era pajamas.
It's either like Ebenezer Scrooge, cap and nightgown, or he falls asleep in his lab coat. No in between.
I love it.
Yeah.
I want to see how the cap works on Melodius with the antenna.
There's two little holes.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I was thinking exactly that.
Yeah, absolutely there are.
I love it. I love
He
everything about
he
it.
takes out his man bun and he's got his beautiful flowing purple locks.
I forgot that he has the long hair.
Mhm.
And also long beard.
The long
braid on the beard.
undoes the braid, just
Yeah, you're in
Beautiful.
all your glory, like all the hair loose, like right now, you you and Rapunzel could battle it right now, and yeah. So you put the book aside, and it was one of the nights that you were able to still get this rest calmly in bed. Get yourself in it and close your eyes. The lights fade down, and sleep takes you eventually. You don't know how long it takes, if a second, an hour, hours, but eventually you feel like your eyes are opening. There is nothing around you. Not the ship, not the walls, just empty infinity. Stars sprinkling like distant sapphires, emeralds, rubies, just sprayed all around in this black canvas in front of you. Doesn't make you feel anxiety or stress. It's just for a moment you are in front of creation, its beginning and its end, and it's beautiful. And among all of it, you think this shouldn't be possible, but you hear humming. Distant, far away, and another humming. Another humming. The first one fades, a third and four. The third one fades, and so on. Thousands of gentle voices calling out to whoever listens. In a way, as a botanist, you understand that each biome has the way that life can facilitate its presence. And you have heard people saying, like, space is like a vast ocean. As a botanist, you understand that space is not like an ocean, but more like a desert. Life can exist there, but it will adapt to difficulty that is around it. Yet in it, you can find precious things. And somehow in this instant, you feel you're destined in an odd way to maybe hear those voices and contact them. You don't know the hour. You're not sure what moment it is in the night or the day. You stand up calmly with one single idea in your mind. As you begin dressing up, getting your suit and protection, that you know your armor can give you protection in any environmental hazard, including the void, and you think to yourself, I need to get out and walk. And that's where we're gonna leave for tonight's episode.
No.
Oh
No.
no!
No.
Yes!
No.
I'm gonna take a little walk in space, baby!
I'm
Oh.
going to have a heart attack.
I they I can't.
So, thank
Yeah,
you,
can we all
everybody.
have hugs?
Thank you, everybody that watched this episode. It was alright. I was not expecting half of the things that happened, but I'm glad. Whew.
I think we're
Um,
gonna need therapy if Noah goes
so-
on a spacewalk.
Oh, I mean,
Not the
Surely.
characters. Us.
Oh,
who knows? Maybe it'll go all well and nothing bad
Figuring the
will
last
happen.
time Noel was alone, they had a hallucination in a hallway of a sleep paralysis demon.
That
among us
hallway
is-
that hallway is precious and has done nothing wrong ever.
I'm
who
not
among us
saying
has not had a delusion in a hallway?
I'm not saying it was the hallway's fault the sleep paralysis demon was there.
I love that hallway.
Good
That
hallway.
hallway is my favorite NPC.
So,
Like,
thank
can
you
we
very
have
much.
hugs?
Probably gonna have a moment to talk and decompress, but thank you for who came and watch. Remember, you can catch Homeward in 2 weeks. How do you guys say it? Every other Thursday?
A fortnight.
Bi-weekly?
Bi-weekly.
Thursday.
Yeah, Fortnite works.
Bi-weekly. Yeah, bi-weekly. At this same channel, this same
Twice a
hour.
month.
And soon we'll be returning to the world of darkness in NA by Night. We'll be retaking in the either next Monday or the one after. will be beginning the fourth and last season of NA by Night. We'll see how things go with the Coterie and the added Garu that is among them. But apart of that, I think that will be all in terms of any of Nerd Asylum. I think we have our content creator to talk about.
Hey,
Hey,
don't you
guys,
chew on my
I'm-
cables. Get. Sorry.
Go
Okay,
on.
Mom.
But hi guys, I'm Faye. If you want to see more of me playing not a space boy, you can head over to wildwitch.com to find out all the ways that you can find us on the internet. Wildwitch is a TTRPG production company. I run a lot of games throughout the week. We have Tuesdays in our 3 p.m. EST and 9 p.m. EST. Our standard games weekly, but we got a lot of other games that you can play and hang out and chat with us, and forums where you can RP and answer questions and have a lot of fun. So that's wildewitch.com, WILDEWITCH.com.
Second, when NA by Night is over, can I have the glasses?
Like, just no. All right.
No.
Good night, guys.
No.
Stay nerdy, friends.
No.
Take care.
Stay nerdy.
Bye.